But wouldn't it be cool to hear what Steve Caballero thought for somebody like him, who's in a band, who does art, who also is a legend on skateboards? How does he keep his mental health healthy? Wouldn't it be cool to hear what that would sound like?
Yeah, hell yeah. Who wouldn't want to hear that?
What's up, Adam? What's up, Joey? What's up, Mark? I actually did an interview today with a gentleman that focuses on mental health and the way the brain works. And he wanted to know how my brain worked and how I was able to overcome fear. And because of the things that we do now that we've included mountain bike in our regimen, I mean, it's a dangerous sport, man. You know, and we crash all the time, but what is it that keeps us coming back? Because we know the consequences of it, you know. Right. And so I obviously felt that immensely years ago with motocross when I broke my femur and had to come back. And I did, and I broke my ankle 10 months later. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. I was brought up that way in skating. I've been getting hurt my whole life, but, you know, in my life, pain has just been temporary.
What do you do when, you know, you have an injury, you're an athlete and you can't get back out there? How do you keep that fog away? And what do you do to keep your mental health healthy?
Well, obviously PMA, positive mental attitude. Everybody deals with anxiety in their own way. And I've dealt with anxiety as a child. To be honest with you, like I was a very, very shy little boy.
You were?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You were always in the public eye.
Right.
Not before skateboarding though.
Okay.
Not before skateboarding. I was a very shy young boy that was very afraid of a lot of things and being around people and doing things around people, especially like in school, like you had to like do like a speech or something in front of your whole class. And
yeah.
I remember the very first time I did, my lip was twitching. Like,
oh man.
When I knew, I was like, what is that twitch? Oh, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You know, but over the years from becoming a very shy boy, didn't want to speak very much, let my actions speak for myself. I've gotten to a place where people respect me for who I am. So I'm able to have a voice. The one thing I've learned, if you're nervous or afraid, the best way to overcome that is to face it. The more and more that you shy away from it, there's no healing process, or there's no teaching yourself that you can overcome something. And so I feel that as human beings, we all kind of are in our own little shell, and sometimes it's hard to break out of that because we're so worried about what people think. And I think that's because of the need of acceptance. Everybody wants to be accepted. Everyone wants to be loved. Nobody wants to be judged or criticized or put down. So that puts a lot of pressure on a human being. When you get to the point where you really don't care what people think, you're able to surpass that fear and that anxiety. And it's hard when you're shy.
I just think it's so dope. Like, Cab, this is not hyperbole. You're a legend to so many of us. Like you're on the Mount Rushmore of for many of us. And I think it's so interesting when you're sharing that this kid with the quivering lip who has to speak. And I love that you're sharing so openly, honestly about that, because people need to understand that even legends, like mental health challenges, it just doesn't discriminate. What people don't understand is half the time that they wrestle with these mental health challenges is because they can't like put a framework around it. They can't like label it. And our emotions display themselves through three different channels. And one is physical sensations, the quivering lip, which tells you you're scared, or the clenching jaw, which tells you you're timid or you might want to fight, or the clenched fist. And the others are thoughts, because we can't focus on everything at once. So our emotions prioritize our thoughts. We focus on what's emotionally relevant for us. And the last is our impulses. And that's where we get this term acting out. And a lot of people think it's bad because we hear that with kids, like, you know, they want to act out or throw a tantrum. But you act out when you want to hug somebody, when you want to shower them with love and adoration. And for you to point out this idea as a kid, your lip is quivering, tells people that even you as a kid had this physical impulse, this physical sensation of being scared, and you were able to push through fear, which I think is great. Eleanor Roosevelt talked about conquering fear, and you conquer fear by doing the thing you think you can't do, and then you know that you can take the next thing that comes along.
Like, we are strong enough as human beings to surpass this anxiety and fear that we put on ourselves. I don't believe that we're born with that. I believe that we learn it somewhere. It's based on how we grew up, how we were treated, the people around us. You need that positive, supportive unit around you to let you know that everything's going to be okay. There's people that get overly too confident. Sometimes you need that, you know. I feel like you need that, especially for like a singer. I mean, to get up in front of people and sing, you know, that takes a lot of courage. Yeah. You know, for me to get up in class and to do a speech in front of these kids I don't even know, and if I don't know if my speech is going to be good, it takes a lot of courage, you know. For me to go to the MTV Music Awards in Texas and go to a karaoke bar and try to sing a duet with Tony Hawk on karaoke, a Prince Doves Cry, without being drunk, and putting myself out there vulnerable to people to laugh at me or what, and do it and succeed through it and be like, wow, I just put myself in a position that I could be very nervous and be afraid, but I just went and did it. And I did. I'm like, wow, I'm capable of so many things that I didn't even have a clue.
Yeah, you're reminding me, Cab, of something I posted recently, which I just posted something that said, you're not as fragile as you feel. And I think that's the truth. We may feel fragile, but we can be a coward behind the shield and still move forward in a lot of ways. And we really surprise ourselves when we do that.
I am so for that thought of like, our feelings lie to us all the time, and you don't base your life on feelings. At least I don't. I come from a Christian background, and it says the heart's deceitful. You know, you should always base choices on truth, not on how you feel. You know, because feelings change, but truth never changes. You know, truth and wisdom never change. You may feel one way 1 minute, and then the next minute you might feel a different way. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just that feelings change. You got to be careful of how you react while you're feeling a certain way, because it might not be true. And you might say things. I have feelings myself. I get angry, and I'll say things when I'm angry, and later on I'll feel bad about what I said. I only said that because I was in that state of mind. So I was reacting off of feeling, when truth of the matter is I shouldn't talk like that or say things like that. That's not the way that you should respond. As a human being, I'm just trying to experience my life in abundance. You know, I'm trying to experience the full abundance of my life and what I'm capable of doing. And I love challenges. So when I set a challenge in front of me, I want to try to at least accomplish it. I have failed many times, and there's challenges I put in front of myself that I've given up. And that's because of my lack of patience. And I tell people that the definition of patience is long suffering. People hate suffering, and so that's why they lose their patience.
So Caballero's also doing a book. I mean, what can the man not do? And I think that's why, Cab, a lot of people are looking at your mindset, because they're trying to glean the keys to unlock a lot of these things that we're capable of.
Yeah, I just want to encourage and inspire people to be more than they think that they can be. You know,
I love that.
Cool. I think a lot of people, they either put themselves in a box, or the people around them put them in a box and tell them, hey, this is all you are. This is all you'll ever be. You know, and I feel like a lot of females have been put in that box for years, and you're seeing them shine very well nowadays. Yes. Especially, it's great to see, you know, because, you know, skateboarding isn't prejudice. You know, it accepts all people in our industry, and from poor to rich to middle class to female to male. When you see another skateboarder, there's already just a common bond there. And as you could see, like in competition, we're always just all rooting for each other as well.
I love that. Cool. Yeah.
And so I feel that helps bring this community together, and it's helped it stay creative, and it's helped it grow. You know, and I feel the same way with mountain biking. You know, I feel like there's a great community there as well. You know, people are stoked on each other and stoked on the progression. And, you know, I've been riding with you and Joey for a couple years now, and it's been great to see your passion for it and how you guys progressed. You know, I don't think I haven't noticed that, Mark. The big time since I first started riding with you guys.
So cool.
Thank you, Cam.
So you guys got some courage under you, and courage comes from practice, you know, and It's not something that we're born with. We have to learn it. We have to learn what we're capable of, you know? So I don't believe, like, I'll argue it to the day I die. I don't believe in natural talent at all. I believe everybody that's good at anything works their hardest at what they do, whether it's physically or mentally. In skateboarding, what I've learned is 90% mental and 10% physical. That means that it doesn't matter how good I am at what I do. If my mind isn't there, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, skateboarding definitely taught me how to fail to succeed. It's not an easy thing to pick up. You have to focus. There's a lot of fear involved with getting hurt, but the joy that you get from putting in so much hard work and learning techniques and just figuring it out like a puzzle after like landing a trick and rolling away after you tried it like 100 times.
Yeah.
That joy, it just shows you what you're capable of and how resilient you are as a person. And so I have adapted that lifestyle. I have adapted that whole way of thinking to everything that I set forth in front of me, a goal, any kind of challenge in front of me. And I know that everything, there's a technique to everything. And once you figure it out and there's repetition to it, becomes a part of you and you don't even have to think about it. That's just life in itself. The more you put in, the more you get out, you know, but you gotta focus. You gotta challenge yourself. You gotta put yourself in vulnerable situations that you're going to be criticized, judged, laughed at. But at the end of the day, this is you putting in the hard work, and you'll know once you've succeeded once, you know, like there's a formula to it.
Yeah.
And you're able to succeed. It only comes through failure. You know, I've been a loser my whole life. At the other end of the tunnel, I've won a lot of things as well. So